Hello, you're listening to the Achieve With Me podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Rachel Gilfrin, and I'll be spending the next few minutes chatting to you about what achieving, winning, and success mean to you. As a life coach, in my opinion, all of these things are very closely linked to having a positive mindset. And this has come up a lot for me in my journey towards success within my career. In fact, it still does. I'll be sharing my own highs and lows from the last 13 years of my career, plus a good deal of confidence and communication techniques that you can start implementing today. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Achieve With Me podcast. Today, I am really excited to be talking to you about something that I'm fairly passionate about. I've mentioned this topic quite a few times in my other episodes, but the overview of today's session is going to be talking about goal setting, and it'll be a slightly shorter episode because I have a gift for you, a little something for you, and it's going to be included in the show notes, but I'll talk through exactly what that gift is in more detail as we progress. So I'd just like to start off by looking at a bit of a quotation. This is a quote that inspired me quite a bit, and it is by Benjamin E. Mays. The quote goes, "The tragedy in life does not lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach." So true, and such a powerful quote. As somebody who's now pretty addicted to making goals, I literally write my top 3 goals every single day. I know how important it is to be clear with myself about what I want. The main reason, to be honest with you, is that nothing would get done otherwise. But I have to say, this was not always the case for me. Up until about 5 years ago, I was a total professional at what I now call the meh goal. Basically, I knew that I wanted more from life, but I hugely lacked self-worth and self-discipline as a result of this. So what I would do would be to sort of set half a goal. It was quite a refined process, and so I thought just for fun I would share this with you to see if anybody can resonate. So just before I go ahead, just a reminder that this is how not to set a goal. So this is my 5-step process. Step 1, I'd say to myself, wouldn't it be great if I could ... And then for a split second, this luxury, hairy, scary, absolute dream of a goal would pop into my head. Then, when my cynicism took over, it'd be then transformed into something that my underconfident mind still deemed still a stretch, but possibly potentially achievable if I really went for it. In my usual fashion, I would then half commit to it. Step 2, tell nobody. Far too risky. Step 3, pick out one thing that I could be doing to move me closer without actually looking at what a sensible chronological order would be, and then proceed to scold myself for having not yet done the thing. Step 4, procrastination. Now, I hadn't aligned a specific date to the goal, so it was cool if I wasn't feeling it that day, or the next week, or month. And step 5, dismiss it. Realise that although I had an urge to do it, it just wasn't the right time at the moment, and I really should be focusing on, anything else. So that's what not to do, and I wonder if any of you go through these steps when you look at goal setting as well. I didn't know it at the time, but as I used to go through these steps, it was my limiting beliefs prompting this procrastination, and I just didn't truly believe that I was either capable or worthy of achieving that goal. Today, in both my business and my personal life, I have annual goals that are broken down into quarters. I've got quarterly goals that are broken down into months, monthly goals that are broken down into weeks, And even weekly goals, you guessed it, turning into my daily to-do list. Now, this can be a bit daunting for some people, especially if you're not a natural planner and tend to struggle to keep track with things. I believe that there is a lot more that goes into goal setting, and I know that whether we're talking about either a New Year's resolution or perhaps a long-term career goal, sometimes these goals are made or set for the wrong reasons. My mission is to help you set goals that really mean something to you and help you to have the confidence in yourself to deliver on that. Now, I want you to think about considering these following scenarios that I'm going to go through. So consider these when you're thinking about a recent goal that you've perhaps set and not achieved. So I'm just going to go through a few of these scenarios. So the first one is it possible that you wanted to achieve this to impress or please somebody other than yourself? I think we're all guilty of sort of looking around us and thinking about impressing maybe our parents, our spouse, not the right intention usually. Second thing is it possible that you knew achieving the goal would upset or frustrate somebody close to you? So I've worked with clients before that have really, really wanted to go for a promotion or increase their salary, their income, but they've felt that actually it would impact their relationship, or they have felt that they were totally outside of what was possible for them because nobody else in their life had ever done that. And sometimes that when we set goals, but we have it in the back of our mind that actually it could upset somebody if we achieved it, we just never go all in. So the next thing is, was this a short-term or long-term goal? If it was a short-term goal, did it match up with what you wanted your eventual future to look like? Next thing is, if it was a long-term goal, did you give yourself a means to track the progress? Did you believe that this was the right thing for you when you made the goal? And finally, did you ever truly believe you could achieve it? Now, these are all things that we should be asking ourselves when we are analysing goals that haven't been achieved, because I think that a lot of the time, as you'll see from where we get to in this episode, we set goals that just are not right for us. And so hopefully some of those statements might have helped you to highlight a reason where you didn't end up achieving the goal, and look at that reason behind it. Now, I know how this feels. I know how it feels to brush aside another thing that didn't happen. Having to face people who you've told about it and they say, "Oh, how are you getting on with that?" Having to explain, "Yeah, I'm not doing that now." Even worse, though, than anybody else's potential judgment is your own judgment. Now, you are capable of immeasurable success. I don't even need to know you to know that's true. I know that sometimes you just need a nudge, some encouragement, and moreover, a way to hold yourself accountable. This is why I've created a free goal-setting workbook. I'm quite excited about this. I've had some really good feedback on it. So the workbook that I have made will basically ensure that you set goals that you're really aligned with, define habits that will help drive you towards achieving that goal, track these habits for 90 days, and ensure that you're fully invested before you look to commit to this. So it really makes sure that there's, you've got enough skin in the game. You're really, really motivated to make this happen, but also allows a platform for you to track your progress on it, because I'm just a believer that if you can't track something and if you can't measure it properly, then you're just really, really unlikely to actually follow through. So if you have resonated with anything in this podcast episode today, I know it's been short, but if you've resonated with anything, or if you're just really tired of letting yourself down or not sticking to things, I implore you to give this goal-setting workbook a chance to change your trajectory. Now, once you've downloaded it, make sure you check out the magic 5-step change checklist at the end, because this is really what will impact and embed the goal. So what I'm going to do is include a link for you to download your workbook. I'm going to include that in the show notes. I'll also include it over on my Instagram profile, which is Rachel Harriet Coaching. And it'll be available online on my website as well. So simply request it. It'll be popped back to you via email free of charge. And I would absolutely love to hear how you found it, what goals you decided to choose, and what progress that you've made with it. Because you truly do deserve to make this progress and get this year off to a fantastic start. So that's going to be it for today. I'm really excited to hear back from you guys, so keep me in the loop as to how it's going. I've got some really exciting episodes coming up in the next few weeks, including some guests that'll be appearing on the podcast that'll be really helpful for you in various different areas of your life. So lots of good stuff coming up. Now, if you haven't already, please do hit subscribe to make sure you're notified when these episodes go live. Thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Achieve With Me podcast. If you like what you heard, please do leave me a rating and a review. And remember to hit subscribe to make sure you're notified for all the new episodes going live. If you're not already following me on social media, I'm at Rachel Harriet Coaching over on Instagram, and I'll be providing plenty of tips and techniques to keep you on that success mindset. Have a wonderful day.